Hey everyone, welcome to Academia School Simulator Devlog number 3. We are Squeaky Wheel, an indie game dev studio based in the Philippines. My name is Ryan Sumo, and I'm back today with my co-founder, Tristan Angeles.
Hey guys, I'm back.
I'm sorry, I always laugh. Anyway, without further ado, we will get right on to what we've been working on this month. Okay, so first off, we're going to talk about hiring teachers. So we understand that teachers are a very important aspect of a school simulation game, and so we've taken the first steps into making a much deeper teacher system so that the teachers are actual characters that have motivations in the game. So for example, before, when you would hire a teacher, it would be just like any other staff, like this worker. If you put him down, that's how you would hire a teacher. But now, if you hire a teacher, if you click on the button, there you go. So it opens up a available teachers panel, and so you can look at a range of teachers for you to hire. So Tristan, could you talk a little bit about what we're looking at here?
So this is the teachers panel. The first thing you'll notice is that teachers now have names. They're not generic teachers anymore.
I'm not sure why. I'm not sure who Sewell is. Again, like the names were generated by our programmer Don. I'm really not sure where he gets his ideas, but yeah. So these are our names. I recognize actually some of these names are like game developer friends of ours.
For example,
Chris Brind is actually a game developer friend of ours, which is very strange. So just random names from all over the place. But yeah, so we have a list of teachers, and there's some like medals on them. Could you talk about that a little bit?
So these medals are the teacher's degree. The more medals a teacher has, the higher its degree.
You keep saying it's. They're people,
Sorry.
man. They're people.
Remind me, teachers are
people too.
Teachers are people too. Okay, so as you can see here, let's click on the teacher, Liam Moore. Liam Moore has 1 medal and he has a bachelor's degree. Let's click on Chris Bryant. He has 2 medals and he has a master's degree. And let's click on Zul.
Zul has a doctorate.
He has a doctorate, 3 medals and a doctorate degree. So yeah, the number of medals corresponds.
So he's more like his salary is higher. Like he's more expensive to hire.
So the higher a teacher's degree, the more expensive it is to hire, and
But correspondingly, there's an increase in their subject knowledge, right?
Yeah. So as you can see here in the lower right part of the panel, this is the teacher's teaching stat. Basically, it's how well a teacher knows a subject enough to teach it. So the higher the degree of the teacher, the
better they are at teaching that subject.
Yeah.
Okay.
Better they are at teaching the subject. So yeah, moving forward, our idea for the teacher is to make them more interesting. So
what's this? Tell me about there's a teaching style here. What's that about?
Teaching styles right now, it's still an idea. Like different teachers are more lenient, for example.
Okay.
And some teachers are disciplinarian. So
you have really strict teachers.
Yeah. So yeah, different teachers can mix well with different students. So yeah, like I said, moving forward, our goal is to make more interesting teachers. So later on, teachers will probably have
traits.
So
you said something before, like maybe you might have attractive teachers,
There was you linked to me. You gave me an article 2 weeks ago, more attractive teachers, are
They're better.
they're better. Or,
No, that's
yes.
not fair. That's their students do better or something.
Well, as for myself, I know that I'd be more inclined to,
Really?
yeah.
Really? Did you have attractive teachers before? I don't think I've ever had a teacher that I was attracted to.
Yeah, I had one back in uni. Yeah.
Okay,
Let's not talk about that
we
anymore.
we should probably move on.
Yeah.
So teachers, so they have degrees, right? But they can also, like, once you've hired them, you can also, like, send them to, like, personal development classes, or like maybe they can, like, upgrade their degree or something at some point. Is that something that they would be able to do?
Yeah, it's in the plans. Like later on, you can increase a teacher's stats by sending them to classes, or maybe even like raise their degrees.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's hire Zool.
Okay, so let's click on Zool and then let's hire him.
And then place him somewhere on the map.
Let's put him in the faculty room.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And just to show you how, like right now, like what our what our system is for assigning teachers to classes. Why don't we click on zones and then click on a classroom. Let's assign Zool to a classroom.
Okay. Let's assign Zool to classroom.
All right.
There.
So we have. Wait. Why do we have two Zools?
Okay.
We need more
I
names.
think he's an
Is he a clone?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so when you click on the edit classroom panel, you can assign a teacher to a specific classroom. In this case, we only have 3 teachers. We have Mia Harris, we have Zool, and then we have another Zool. So you select teacher. So now you can see that Zool is assigned to the classroom. Yeah, all right. So once again, we're still going to be developing this further into the future, but at the very least, you can see that we've been working on making teachers like a deeper and more integral part of the game. Okay, so up next we'll talk about the clinic system. So last month, if you remember, we talked about our dirtiness system. So students and staff now generate dirt, so you need to hire a janitor to clean up. Now, dirt not only creates, like a visual dirt that, looks ugly and you want to clean it up. Dirt now actually affects the health of students. So that leads into us building the clinic system. So Tristan, could you talk a little bit about our clinic system and how it works?
So, a student can get sick. It depends on the student's health, actually. Right now, every student's health is the same, but later on, depending on traits, some students will be more sickly than others. Some students will be much more healthier.
Were you a healthy student, or are you a sickly student?
I was a sickly student back in high school. Yeah. So, like I said, health. So every time a student goes into dirty areas, there's a chance that it will get sick based on its health. So when it gets sick,
Again, they're people.
sorry,
Students are people too.
they're characters. Okay, they're people. Okay, so if they get sick, they go to the clinic. So in the clinic, not sure. We're supposed to have where's the nurse?
The nurse.
Okay.
Maybe she went to the cafe. Well, hire another nurse.
Okay, let's hire another nurse. So
Maybe she quit. Maybe he quit.
So there. There's our nurse.
Oh.
Maybe
She just went to the bathroom.
bathroom or eight. Okay. So as you can see here, we have
So the nurse is diagnosing the student right now.
that's the first step, is to diagnose the student's sickness. Right now, we only have fever as the sickness in the game. What fever does is, if it doesn't get cured by the nurse in the clinic, by the end of the day, the student will be absent for a couple of days. So
Okay.
yeah, they'll be missing classes, and that'll be bad for their ACADS.
Okay.
Okay, so after diagnosing the student is confined in the clinic, and while the student is confined, there's a chance that the student will recover from their sickness.
Okay.
So yeah, recovery is also based on the student's health. So healthier students will recover much faster, and sickly students will recover much slower.
Okay, so right now we only have like just the one sickness, right, which is fever. But you're saying like in the future we're gonna develop this further and maybe have like issues where maybe there are contagious diseases or stuff like that.
Yeah, I did a few designs before, like a student who's sick and attends classes can pass on the sickness to his classmates. So yeah, I think that's a pretty exciting idea, because if you're not careful, you might create an epidemic for your school.
Okay, cool. That sounds great. All right, now let's move on to the next topic. All right, so finally we were able to finish the garbage system from last month by adding a littering mechanic. And so basically the students will, if they don't have access to a trash can, they'll end up just littering all over the place. That also ties into a mechanic we have, which is discipline. Tristan, could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay, so discipline. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in a previous devlog, but discipline will be one of the most important mechanics in the game. Let me click on a student. As you can see here, the student has a discipline stat. Every time a student has a choice whether to do something, a bad action or not, it will be checked against the student's discipline. So, like we said before, we'll be trying to explore mechanics like vandalism, bullying, delinquency in the game. This is where discipline will enter the game. So if a student doesn't feel like going to school, it will be tested against his discipline. So more disciplined students will not do bad things, ideally.
All right. So right now, the only actual effect that discipline has is littering, and I guess let's move to the canteen for a second. You notice we also have actually a new object over in the lower left corner. That's like the dirty plates tray. So ideally, the students will also bust their own tables after they eat, and that also, I mean, discipline also affects that. So if they're disciplined students, then they'll clean up their table after they're done eating, and if they're not, they'll just leave the dirty plates there for the look at that kid, he just left his plate. His plate. What an undisciplined student. But yeah, so that's how discipline will work in the game.
Do some of the staff leave their plates too?
The workers are more disciplined than there's a good kid. There's a good kid. He's cleaning up his table. Good for you, kid. Gold star. Alright, so you might have noticed earlier that when we clicked on the classroom zone in order to assign a teacher to that class. So we have a basic zone editing system now, which lets us edit the zone to change certain aspects of it. So for example, I've clicked on the zone button here, right? And if I click on the toilet, I can click on edit toilet, and you can see right now this toilet is for females, but if we can actually change it to male or to any, so it's anyone can use the toilet. So that's a pretty basic implementation of the zone system. But in the future, we're thinking of other things that we can do to the zone. So Tristan, I know that you had a bunch of ideas for this that were inspired by games like Theme Hospital or Theme Park, right? Like what were you thinking again? Like what we could do something with the kitchen or
so the zone editing mechanic is still in the works. So ideally, our plan is to have at least something that the player can do with each zone. Each zone, like what Ryan mentioned before, like you can set for the toilet, you can set the gender. For the classroom, you can set the teacher. For the cafeteria, we're planning right now, like
maybe a food
maybe
types
like
or...
food types,
yeah.
like maybe you can choose junk food or
The quality of the
yeah,
food.
the quality of the
Yeah,
food,
yeah.
set the prices of the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not sure yet like how deep we'll go into that, but yeah, we definitely want to explore this idea and kind of give the player a little bit more customization over how they manage like each specific zone. Okay, so lastly, we, as usual, have a few like graphics and UI updates for you. So, for example, we have a bunch of new walls that we've added to the game. So you can see like this particular building is mostly made of the brick wall. We have a blue wall and an orange wall and a tiled wall. Yeah, like we just wanted the players to have as much, aesthetics, like choice in terms of aesthetics when building their schools. And so if you guys have any suggestions on like colors of walls or or if you have any favorites. Tristan, do you have a favorite type of wall here?
The brick wall is my favorite currently.
Yeah, I think it's mine too. There's something very appealing about brick walls. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas for what other kinds of walls we can do or other like aesthetic stuff that we can add to the game, please feel free to comment about it. And additionally, we've done some UI like tweaking. So if you click on the objects button, you can see we now have tabs. If you click on the tabs, it'll show you. They're not actually super organized right now, but the idea is that like when you want to build a specific zone, it's already all the objects are organized into tabs for easy selection. All right, so that's it for this month. And looking forward to next month, we'll be working on some cool stuff. Like for example, here's a sneak preview of our custom logos. So we really wanted to make the player, give the player like the chance to customize the school in as many ways as possible. So one of those things is like being able to design their school logo or school seal. The rest of the work that we're going to be doing this month though is a little less exciting, but still really important to the game. So stuff that like just like being able to save and load games properly, or like adding audio in the game so it's not like just super quiet every time you play it. Probably the most important thing also is to-do lists and grants, to give the player like a little bit of direction once they start playing the game. So that's it for this month. Tristan, do you have anything you want to say to our viewers?
No, I'm tired. It's really hot, and I really love to go home.
All right, thank you very much for your enthusiasm, Tristan. We'll see you guys next month.